And now C.H. Maslin & Sons bring you Act One of Red Dust, starring Lex Barker.
Well, we're off again. On our way home. First men to reach Alpha Centauri.
The first men to reach a solar system outside our own and live to tell it.
Except the two of us we left buried back there under that red dust.
Look, Charlie, before you start crying about Kelly and Schwartz, remember we've got a long way to go before we reach Earth. So save your tears till then. You may need them for yourself.
That's being very realistic.
I'll bet the doc's so wrapped up over what we found down there that he wouldn't care if we ever got back.
On the contrary, I'm very anxious to get back. Alpha Centauri had a remarkable civilization, centuries in advance of ours. We'll benefit beyond measure from this accumulation of its knowledge we're bringing back.
Makes us look like babes, huh? I'll never forget it. Those great, magnificent, shining cities. Yes, but no life. How weird. Completely deserted. Everything dead. Covered with that strange pink dust. They must have all died down there in some epidemic. And the dust just settled. Those papers you found there say anything about it, Doc?
Well, I haven't had a chance to look through them fully yet.
Say, where'd all this dust come from? We must have picked some of it up before we left.
I thought we cleaned up the ship thoroughly. We were so careful. Let's see.
It's that red dust from Alpha. It's all over the place. Boy, will I be glad to get back to Pittsburgh.
Yes, it's the same dust that was covering Planet A. Strange how persistent.
Hey, Kurt.
Yeah?
Take a look.
At what?
The dust. It's growing.
It's what?
Well, I'll be... There wasn't that much there yesterday. I tell you, it's growing.
Well, it sure is.
No wonder I feel crawly. Feel it under my clothes. My skin.
What's a little dust? We'll be going home soon. You're right, though. It is kind of crawly. It gets under your clothes. No wonder I've been itching.
Something alive about this dust. I don't like the way it grows.
Well, forget about it. But we should have brought along as a housemaid. A pretty one.
It's a good thing we'll be getting back to Earth again in a few days before this dust gets any thicker. At the rate it's been spreading, in another week we'd have to fight our way through it. Time for the shots again, Doctor.
Good heavens. Was that the radiation shot?
Sure.
Have we all been getting them?
Well, except Kelly and Schwartz, before we landed on Alpha Centauri, they claimed they were allergic. They got reactions. They didn't think they needed them.
That cost them their lives.
What? But we checked before we landed. There was no radiation on Alpha.
The radiation is there. On my finger.
The dust?
Dust.
But I thought that they caught something that we didn't. That we were immune to somehow. Oh, it couldn't be the dust. Well, the ship's full of it. Our skin, our clothes. Then why did we survive? The radiation shots?
Apparently.
So far, it's no good. Frankly, now, when we signed up for this little thing, who would have thought that we'd make it there and back without a hitch? I don't think I even thought about it. Hey, Charlie, can't you and the doc do something about this dust? I'm getting awful itchy.
Time for the shots.
Radiation shots again? That's more hogwash. What do we need them for? We're going home soon. What do we need them for, anyway?
They just saved your life, that's all.
They what?
The doc just found out what killed Kelly and Schwartz. It was radiation disease. Caused by that pink dust.
Oh, you're kidding. You mean this stuff?
Hey, that's right. They didn't take their shots. It was the dust after all, and the reason we're alive is because of these shots.
Ouch! Take it easy, Charlie. It's not my fault that Kelly and Schwartz didn't get their shots.
Don't joke about it.
Hey, Charlie, we're just as upset about this as you are, but there's nothing we can do about it now.
Yeah, they knew when they came along what the chances were. 2 men lost on an expedition like this, that's not so bad. Not when you consider that they didn't even survive, the first bunch didn't even survive the takeoff. What you've got to do, Charlie, is think about yourself. Concentrate on you.
Yeah, you're just like the doctor. You don't care about anything but yourself.
No, you don't believe that. You wouldn't have worked for him so long.
Oh, I respect him all right, but I can't help thinking about Kelly out there on that red desert. The dust swirling around him and us goggling down at him through the port. And Kurt yelling, "Here's a toast to Kelly." When he came clumping back into the ship, his flight suit covered with it. And all the time, that deadly dust was spreading over him, just like it's spreading over this ship, getting inside him, eating him away.
Hey, Charlie, look, we all know that death is the price of knowledge.
Yes, but none of you care anything about it. All Kurt here's interested in is excitement. And the doc will do anything for science, no matter who suffers. And you, Duncan.
I suppose I just came along for the ride.
What is it, Doc? You look worried.
Here it is. As much as they knew about it, as much as I do.
The dust?
I know its refractive index, its biaxial interference figure, and that's about all.
Thanks, that makes it as clear as a foggy night.
It's a weird sort of radioactive life, a virus that attacks any living matter that comes near it.
Radiation, huh? Well, then we're safe.
No, I'm afraid not. Our shots just slowed it down.
Slowed it down?
You mean then...
Just temporarily. But they can't stop it.
And we've got it too, like Kelly and Schwartz.
Have we, Doc? Have we?
Yes. And once it gets going, there's no stopping it. They found that out on Alpha Centauri. These little specks are alive and deadly.
Yeah, but Doc, if the shots slowed it down...
The shots only take care of the radioactivity, but once that dust gets anywhere near you, its penetrating power is amazing. Its tiny crystals settle in every cell of your body and begin to grow and radiate. Blocking off the radioactivity only seems to prevent quick death. It seems to have no effect at all on the growth of the crystals. And once they come anywhere near a vital organ...
How long have we got?
By attacking the radiation, slowing it down, perhaps 10 or at best 15 years.
10 years? 10 years to die in? But we can't let that happen. You've got to do something.
There's nothing I can do, Charlie, not even for myself.
But to die like that, waiting for...
Charlie, snap out of it.
That dust searing the life out of us.
Charlie, it's just another medical problem for the doc and the boys at Science Center to figure out. They've got 10 years to do it in a breeze.
They didn't come up with an answer in Alpha Centauri, did they? You're gonna die, Kurt. Big, brave Kurt. You're just like all the rest of us. You try to prove all the time that you're better, but you're gonna die.
Kurt, stop it. Can't you see he's hysterical?
Well, he had it coming to him.
Charlie, you're just tired. Get some rest. Got a grip on yourself.
Well, that's the way it's gonna be.
What this needs is a drink. Here. To the dust. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Red dust.
You just can't resist showing off, can you, Kurt?
Now don't you start, Doc.
Not starting anything, but I'm not afraid to admit that I'm just plain scared.
Well, the way I figure it is, we're 10, maybe 15 years ahead of what we expected to be when we started on this little excursion. Boy, I can do a lot with 15 years. Girl on every planet, huh? Well, let's face it, I'm 35 now, and in 15 years I'll be 50. Who wants to live any longer than that? 15 years and then... Maybe you're right. If they have that much time, our scientists ought to be able to find some way to stop it. What is it?
Trying to throw himself out the airlock. Go on, Doc. Tell him the rest. The result of our fine expedition. Tell him what we're bringing back. Death to every man, woman, and child on Earth.
What are you trying to do, you crazy? Get out of here. You don't want to live, I do.
Charlie!
Mine.
That's the ship. That's blood crime.
Transform your home. Be sure to be on hand next week when Tales of Tomorrow will present The Golden Ingot, starring Gene Lockhart, and presenting a brilliant new discovery never before seen on television, Miss Monica Lovett. Brought to you by Chrysler, the name that makes news in watch bands.
Here is real fashion magic, the expansion watch band that transforms any woman's watch into a modern bracelet watch. It's Golden Fantasy by Chrysler. Think of it. A bracelet watch usually costs $50 or more. But Golden Fantasy gives you this same style for only $9.95, tax included. So go to your jeweler. Ask him to show you Golden Fantasy. See for yourself how Chrysler makes news in watch bands.
Adapted from a play by Theodore Cogswell. CP means cerebral palsy, a name to remember. Give to your local affiliate of United Cerebral Palsy. Forget them not.
For fun, adventure, and leisurely relaxation, there's nothing like a long pleasure trip to some faraway place you've been dreaming about. Of course, it takes money to travel. But you can be aboard that pleasure ship in your future if you get aboard the bond wagon today. By buying United States savings bonds regularly, you build up a fund that will look mighty good when you need it. And in the meantime, your money is growing. For every $3 you put into these bonds, in 10 years you get back $4. Make sure you won't miss the boat. Sign up for savings bonds now.
The preceding program, originally telecast by ABC in New York, has come to you by special video recording. This is ABC, the American Broadcasting Company.